Hey everyone, Dr. Rose here. And today I'm going to make some chocolate chip cookies. I am making my chocolate chip cookies, and it's a little twist on it. We'll talk about the twist later. But one of the things I promise you guys is that, part of the exclusive content of this Patreon page is that you'll get access to just different aspects of my content, my 7 steps of personal transformation, as well as my Doctor's Delight brand, which is going to be launched shortly. That's all about bringing mental health issues to the table. So we'll be combining talking about different mental health topics with different guests as we prepare some dish. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that launching. We were in the midst of it right before the shutdown. We had a date scheduled, but of course everything has been pushed to when we're out of this whole social distancing, self-quarantining, all of that stuff to keep us all safe. I'm not complaining because it's necessary. But today I'm going to make chocolate chip cookies. I love to cook, especially in stressful times like this. Cooking calms me. I love to make things for family and friends and dishes that they enjoy and, just host and do things of that sort. So I figured when I'm in the kitchen whipping up something, why not come to you guys and, just talk a little. So if there's some recipe you would like for me to share, or you have a great recipe of your own that you would like for me to prepare, and maybe you can come on with me and we can prepare together, let me know. I would love to do it. I love trying out new things. But we're gonna do chocolate chip cookies. So hands are all clean. I got my dependable KitchenAid. If you don't have one of these, this is something to put on a wish list and to definitely get in your kitchen and as one of your kitchen tools if you're someone who loves to cook like I do. So to begin, the mixer here, you don't have to have a mixer. It just makes everything go a lot quicker by hand. You can mix by hand if you want to, and that's what I used to do long before I had a KitchenAid, and it doesn't mess up the quality or the taste of the food at all. But have my mixer here, and we're going to start with 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. I prefer dark brown sugar, and you know what I did? I've been preparing for this and working on some other stuff, so I left this sugar out, and it's gotten a little hard. I'm going to go with some fresh sugar right now because I just feel better that way because it's going to blend in there. The air has gotten to that sugar, and it's dried up. I'm going to get a whole new pack, so bear with me. So, get this. So here we go. I got my own just fresh new pack of brown sugar here. Dark brown sugar, like I said. And this has been open a little bit, so I must have used it for something. So, traditional recipes usually call for 3/4 cup of brown sugar and 3/4 cup of your white sugar as well, your white cane sugar. I prefer to reduce the amount of the white sugar and put more of the brown sugar in it because brown sugar to me is just richer. And so even though the recipe calls for 3/4 cup, I usually put like a entire cup of the brown sugar, which means I'm gonna switch it over here, and then half a cup because then the measurements of the sugar are still the same. So 3/4 and 3/4 a cup, of course, is 1 1/2. So I'll put a whole cup of the dark brown sugar and press that down here. And you want to pack your brown sugar. If you just let it sit lightly, you may not get accurate measurements. So I like to pack it so it fits in this entire cup here, and you can see that. And then I put a half a cup of regular white sugar in here. So let's see, this is a half a cup. What are some of the things you like to do that calms you down? I for years I always say, because I work so much, and I say, I need to find a hobby. And I didn't realize cooking actually is my hobby. I enjoy cooking. But it's something that I've been doing so long that I never considered it a hobby. But a hobby by nature is anything that you enjoy doing, that calms you, that you can continue to build upon and grow upon. So I can continue to learn new skills in the kitchen. So that's my hobby. Okay, so I just put a half a cup of the white sugar in there with the entire cup of the dark brown sugar. Then we add unsalted butter. I don't do margarine. I don't believe in margarine. Margarine has a lot of ingredients in there that are not anything I can even pronounce. I can't pronounce it. I don't want to put it in my food. And butter is just, you know, the taste of butter, the richness of butter. We know it's a little bit more expensive, but it makes a difference in your food. And like I said, I don't believe in margarine because I can't pronounce all the stuff in margarine. And margarine is oil and water and things of that sort. And that just doesn't fly very well with me. So I am getting my mixer here. So if you see, let me see if I can bring you a little closer. I'm gonna bring the, we'll put that down in there. I have the sugar and the butter in there. And I'm going to add my little device, my mixing device to the mixer here. And we're gonna get ready. And that's my dog over there. Every single time I come in the kitchen, especially if there's company over, he's worse than a kid. If I come in the kitchen, then he starts that whining because he wants to get some food. And we don't even feed him table food. When guests come over, they do feed him table food, and that's what gets him. But he almost knows, going back to psychology, he gets reinforced for negative behavior. My daughter just came out and gave him a little food so he could be quiet. So now he knows every time he does it, he's going to get food. So that doesn't help. So now I want to put my vanilla flavoring in. But first I'm going to cream the sugar and the butter together. I'm going to take the phone off. I have to be very careful because I don't want to stop the recording. And I apologize if you see my fingers in there, but you can see how it's all mixing up in there. And it just smells so good. I'm going to put it on higher speed. And you just cream that until it starts to blend. And put you back here. Need a cameraman, right? And so it's creaming up. If you want, let's see if it's in here. It's not in here. It's always good to have one of these spatulas handy because as it blends around, I can always bring the sugar and the butter mixture back to the base of the bowl. Because a lot of times it just, you know, blends and sticks to the side. So I'll put it back down there. And I like to, at this point, add my flavor, my vanilla flavoring. Pure vanilla flavoring, not the imitation stuff. This stuff right here smells so good. Now, whenever I go to the islands, I like to bring back, especially Caribbean islands, I like to bring back some type of vanilla with me because of the taste of it, the pureness of it. A lot of islands grow their own vanilla there. This here isn't from the island. You can get this from specialty stores. I got this from Holiday Market in Royal Oak, Michigan. It's not, this isn't cheap, but it goes a long way. And it's a bourbon, Madagascar bourbon, pure vanilla extract. It just smells so very good. And it lasts a long time. It goes a long way. Just smells so good. So we need a teaspoon, and this is a half a teaspoon here because I don't know where my teaspoon measurer is. So we're going to put 2 of these in. So I put my vanilla flavoring in. And now we're going to do the eggs once that blends in. So we're going to do 2 eggs. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure I don't get any shells in the batter, I'm going to crack some of these eggs. Crack the eggs inside. this in the garbage. One of the measuring cups here. Not that I don't know how to crack an egg without getting shells in, but you know, it's better safe than sorry, right? And so, putting my egg mixture, 2 eggs, into the cream, butter, and sugar with the vanilla flavor. And I like to start out slow mixing it just to fold it in and get it in there. Then I can set the speed up a little higher. But I don't want to go high right off the rip, because if I do that, a few things will happen. You know, it just starts blending too quickly, and it can actually start melting the butter, just the speed and the heat from the speed. Secondly, you'll have stuff flying out if you start too fast on the mixer. Now again, if you don't have a mixer, you can do all this by hand. You know, cream your butter and sugar together with a nice fork, and just get you a nice mixing spoon to mix everything up. And this smells so good. I love the smell of making a cookie batter. And remember, as kids, we would love to eat our parents when our moms would make cookies or cake. We would get the spoon. That was like the treat, right? And this day and time, we stay away from it because of all the, I guess, the knowledge we know now with salmonella poisoning and things of that sort. We stay away from it. So, blending this together. And now that that's blended, I can actually now I'm gonna put this brown sugar. I'm not gonna throw this brown sugar away that got hard, because I could probably use it in a recipe, like a baking recipe or something. And in this day and time, with everything in supermarkets, their shelves are so bare with the whole COVID-19 going on. I don't throw away anything. You know, I don't take it for granted that I have it. So now I want to put the flour in, and we put the flour in a little bit at a time. Now, most recipes, like if you look at this chocolate chip bag here, most recipes will call for, oops, I didn't realize it was open. I'll get that up a little later. So most recipes will call for, if you see here, 2 1/4 cups of unsifted flour. So, what I do, and with that unsifted flour, you want to make sure you put baking soda, or I shouldn't say baking soda, baking powder. I was right, baking soda inside. So everyone has baking soda there, the baking soda. Baking powder is completely different. When I do biscuits for you guys, that's when we pull out the baking powder. So we're gonna do 2 1/4 cups. Although, with this here, I'm going to put, and I know you guys say, why is her flour in a deli container? This is because of everything going on and everyone's selling out. This is how they're selling flour now at one of my favorite markets, Holiday Market. They don't have any of the bag flour. So I guess they are buying flour by the bulk, putting it in containers. So this is a quart of flour. As you can see, I don't know what brand it is, you know. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. This is where we are now. So I have just about 2 cups here. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I don't wanna take it to a full 2 1/4 cup. I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is the little added twist that I put with my cookies. And you say, what is this here? Let me bring it closer. Can you guys get a good look at it? In this bag here. So what this is, believe it or not, this is oatmeal that I actually blended in my blender into like a flour. And I like to add this. I know some people add whole oats to their cookies, or if they're making oatmeal raisin cookies, you put the whole oats in. But I discovered a long time ago, if I blend some oatmeal and add it to my flour, it just gives the cookie a whole nother, just this awesome texture. It's like this soft texture, if you like, because I like to eat mine warm and soft, and it's just so delicious. Even if it's a day old, it still has that softness to it. It doesn't get hard. So that's my little added there. So I have that in there. I'm going to just get a plain fork and take that one out of the dishwasher here. Gonna put my baking soda in there. So you put a whole teaspoon of baking soda again, and as you guys, I told you before, I don't have my teaspoon, so I'm going to, over this, actually I can stick that in there, put 2 of these in there. So the baking soda's inside, so I'm just going to blend that together. The recipe always says sift. How many of you remember sifters? Your mom, or if you have a sifter, that's pretty cool. I don't have a sifter. I do remember sifters growing up. It was that little metal tin, kind of like a cylinder with a screen underneath, and it was open in the bottom, and it had this little gear on the side that you would put the flour in, and it would just sift it all out through the screen. But you put your flour, your baking soda, and all that, so it's like uniformly all blended in there. So I have this all set with my little oatmeal mixture, and now, and I'm gonna get the phone so you guys can see this. And you see, I just ignore him because he's gonna have to learn. He's gonna learn today. We're not gonna be doing this. I'll be coming to you guys on the regular, so he's gonna have to get used to it. So I'm gonna turn this around so you guys can see how this looks here. So if you can see, actually, I'm gonna get my daughter to hold this up. Jordan, do me a favor, hold this. So how can you do that? Turn it toward, how am I gonna have you do it? You can't do it, because we can't switch the perspective on it. We will. We'll have to do some editing, maybe, maybe not. Okay, so hold this, Jordan, just right here, and I'll tell you, I can kind of see what it looks like. Oh, down, so you can see I'm adding the flour in a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. I turn up a little bit. Let it get blended a little bit more, a little bit more. And the last of it's in there. And I'm going to actually now turn it up to get it all in there. So I'm not, of course, a professional baker, so I don't know if I'm even supposed to. I just like for a few seconds for it to go up high. It's just pretty cool to me, just to make sure it's all in there. But I don't leave it on that high speed for long, so I'm turning it back down. So that's all blended, and now we're ready to put the chocolate chips, and if you like nuts in your cookies, the nuts in. And put you back here so I can free my daughter up. She is doing, can I leave you a little bit of what? So she doesn't like chocolate chip cookies. She doesn't like chocolate. I've never met, can't believe she's my child and does not like chocolate. So when she asks if I can leave her a little bit, what she's asking is for me to put some of this dough aside before I add the chocolate chips to it, which makes it difficult because now I have to make sure I put the right ration of chocolate chips in. So he's doing that because a chocolate chip fell in there, so he must be able to smell it. He's like in my plant. I have a potted plant down here that the dog is like going through because a chocolate chip fell down there. He's a weirdo. Let's see. So I'm gonna put a little to the side for her. Or you know what, Jordan? I'll just make you some dough. How about that? Okay. I'll make you. That'll make life easier. So instead of doing that, I'll make her her own plain dough. Since I got this down here, I'm gonna clear all the dough from around here. Okay. So now you put your chocolate chips in. So I'm a big Ghirardelli chocolate chip girl. I used to be. Nestle Toll House is good too. If you like Nestle Toll House, that's good. I remember when I mentored a group of girls, we took them to a kitchen where there was a professional chef that taught them different things, and One of the things she pointed out is a lot of these chocolate chips, again, has so many preservatives and they're not pure chocolate chips. And some of the name or the higher brand ones that we know of fall into that category. So when I learned that, I just became more conscious about choosing chocolate that was like the purest form of chocolate that I can find. But because I like semi-sweet, and I also like a darker chocolate, you can see this is Ghirardelli 60% cacao there, okay? And so I mix the two. In. So I kind of do half and half. So I do half of the semi-sweet, and I kind of fill the bag there. And then this is a half a bag from the last time I make it. So I do half of the darker 60% cacao. And you can see these chips are actually the difference I'm gonna show you here in the chips. And it just makes a little fun in the cookie. So as you see, this is the cacao. It's much bigger. If you kind of, where's my camera? Guys can kind of see that. Trying to, so you can see. And then this is the little semi-sweet. So they're even a different size there. So I need to put, what I need to put the rest of this in here. And I know I put some of this, but I'm gonna put a little bit more. So now I blend those together. Blend that together, the chocolate chips in here. The last step is the walnuts. I keep my walnuts because they stay fresher if you keep them in a cool place. So I keep them in the refrigerator. Of course, you know, this is some Costco big bulk walnuts here. I made a banana bread last week that was a big hit, and I'll be coming back to make. I got some bananas over there. I'm waiting to ripen even more so I can do a banana bread. It went very quickly with the people in this house here. They enjoyed it. It was pretty good. I made a good cream cheese icing to go on it too. So typically you put about a cupful of nuts in your recipe because I love all types of texture, especially the nuts in my cookies. I'll put a little bit more, and they haven't been chopped yet. So once they're chopped, that'll probably equate to a cup. But you see what I'm doing? I'm putting them in a little freezer quart bag because I don't buy my walnuts chopped. I like to take my aggression out when I'm cooking too. Like I said, it calms me. So I can use this as an opportunity to just beat up. See, I'm using the measuring cup here I use for the flour. I'm going through chopping my walnuts. Where am I? I'm at 23 minutes. I'm sorry, guys, but hey, why not, right? Especially those of you who may not be very confident in your cookie skills. This is a great recipe, and I guarantee it will come out to your liking, to your family's liking, to your loved ones' liking. So now I'm putting the walnuts in. So now it's blending up the walnuts. Now I'll take the phone off so you can see that a little bit. And I apologize for my finger keep getting in the camera, but and that's pretty much it for the batter. That's your cookie batter there. So now what I do, once it's all blended up, I let my blender down. I'll take this here. You see it's all on the, let that go in there. Put this. This is what, as kids, we would love, right? We go through licking that. I don't do it as an adult, you know. I think we're, you know, we're so used to kids doing it that I don't have necessarily that fear of what a lot of the experts warn against, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So if you can see, my dough is all done. Now, also where a lot of people who bake cookies make their mistake is that they'll take this right here and put it in the oven. And you don't want to do that. Right now, because of all the blending, like I said, the temperature of the batter is warmer than what it should be when you put it in the oven. So what I do, I take the batter and I either put it in the freezer or the refrigerator for a while. Even if I put it in the freezer, you know, you get it out and you get it just enough softened where you can break off your pieces. You don't roll cookies. I saw my daughter for the first time make some sugar cookies last week, and I came out and she was rolling them to press her. And one of the things I told her is that, you know, she's letting the temperature from her hands again is manipulating the temperature from the cookie dough, and then that's going to affect the way they cook and bake properly, I should say. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to put it probably in a container or a Ziploc bag. Probably just reuse the bag the nuts was in for some of it. And then I'm going to let it cool in the refrigerator or freezer and give it about 30 minutes or so. And then I'll bring it out and I'll put it on cookie dough, on a cookie sheet, and then I'll bake it at 350 degrees for roughly about 15 minutes or so. Everybody's stove is different, so you need to test yours. The key also, when you bake it, you never want the cookie to get over baked in the oven. Sometimes you take it out where it looks almost like it's not quite done, because it will continue to kind of cook a little bit on that cookie sheet. And if you wait until the top totally looks dark, then you've overcooked them, and then the next day you'll have hard cookies and you won't even taste the flavor. Like for me, when the cookies have the softness to it, you can really taste all the flavor, and I love the goo of the chocolate and all of that good stuff. I can't wait till this is done. It's been a minute since I've made these, but that's pretty much it. Also, when you get them out the oven, you don't have to take them off the cookie sheet immediately, but you want to use a spatula to go under each cookie immediately. Not necessarily take it off at that time, but use the spatula to just separate the cookie sheet from the cookie itself. Otherwise, if it cools on the cookie sheet, you may get stuck cookies there. So that's pretty much it. That's my chocolate chip cookie recipe with walnuts there, and I'll share pictures with you guys on the site. So again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back soon. Join me Tuesday. So Tuesday, I want to say this before I go. Tuesday, we're going to be doing numerology. And for those of you who follow me over the years, and those of you who have ever been in my coaching group as my coaching clients, you know the power of numerology. And I don't want to go into it too much here, but I did put an advertisement up for it on the Patreon page. So be sure to do your numbers. There's examples there, and there's a link you can link on to get your life path number and your name number. So when I start talking about what it all means, it'll make sense to you. So looking forward to that. That's Tuesday night at 8 p.m. and it will be uploaded. So if you aren't able to join us at 8 p.m., you'll be able to go back and watch the video later. So great, guys. Great talking to you. I'm going to enjoy these cookies when they're done. I'll send you a picture of them as well. Bye-bye.